everybody, it's Amy, and I have a couple of new projects to share with you tonight. I created these two projects using the gorgeous Maggie Holmes Sunny Days paper collection. Now I have to confess, when that collection came out, I kind of had a meh reaction to it, but now that I've been creating with it, holy smokes, it is a beautiful, beautiful paper collection, and I had such a blast creating these two projects. I made a paper flower lei, and then I made this cute little beach tote as well, using the paper collection. So I'll put the beach tote aside, and we'll start with the lei, and kind of like what went into this project here. So I made the lei using a free cut file that I downloaded from the Lia Griffith blog. And if you don't have an electronic die cutting machine, Lia Griffith also offers kind of like a paper template so that you can create this lei using the paper template. But I'll try to show you a little bit more closely what I did here. So the Lia Griffith cut file, I mainly use that. I made a few little alterations. I used the cut file to cut the leaves. I cut the flowers using the cut file, and it gives you oops, this is going to be a little hard to work with. It gives you you know, one kind of style leaf, and then it gives you 3 different flowers in the cut file, and one of the flowers is this pretty kind of lily flower that you see here, and then one of the flowers is this cute little 5-petal flower. It's kind of a little teeny 5-petal flower. And then the other flower is this sort of like cupped flower, and I'm trying to see if there's one where I can give you a good look at the cupped flower. So yeah, so that's like the cupped flower. And the Lia Griffith blog gives really specific instructions for how to work with the cut file and how many to cut, you know, of each file, and how to, you know, and how to assemble your lei. And I basically just followed that. I chose the Maggie Holmes Sunny Days collection, so I cut my leaves from this kind of green patterned paper from the collection. It almost looks like leaf veining, so I was happy with that paper. And then I chose this kind of pink polka dotted paper for my lilies, and I chose this cute kind of blue and pink patterned paper with little, oh, looks like little tulip flowers on it. I chose that for my cupped flower, and then I chose the very pretty, it's this pink floral paper from the collection. It's just gorgeous. It's one of my favorite sheets from the collection. And I chose that for my little 5-petal flower. And I did, you know, initially purchased the Maggie Holmes paper pad, but the paper pad isn't double-sided. And then when I decided to do this project, I was like, oh, you know, I really, you know, this would work best with a double-sided paper. So I went back to scrapbook.com and I picked out my sheets with the double-sided sheets, and that's what I used to cut my flowers and leaves, the double-sided papers. And I just thought it came out so cute. So for the most part, I followed, you know, the Lia Griffith tutorial. I made a couple of minor alterations. When I was kind of, you know, constructing my lei, I thought that it was feeling really paper heavy. So I went ahead, you know, to kind of add another texture, I went ahead and I made these little tool bows, and I tuck them into the lily flowers. So you can see all these little tool bows here and there, just to kind of break up the monotony of so much paper. And then the other little alteration I made was to put a half-back pearl in the center of the small 5-petal flower. You can see those as well. And I got the half-back pearls from Michael's. And then when you're done, you know, cutting out your flowers, you do have to like use your flower curling tools to kind of like curl your petals, break down the fibers, you know, and you also have to do a little bit work with your leaves to curl them and pinch them. Again, just to give it a more realistic look, because, you know, when they come off the cutting mat, and I have a Cricut Maker, they're just like kind of flat. And then I think the final alteration I made was I fussy cut some of the pretty butterflies from the Maggie Holmes Sunny Days collection, and I just stuck them here and there in the lay so that you can see them poking out. Yeah, I thought it came out really, really pretty. It's a really fun project to work on. It took me, because I only craft like maybe 1 or 2 hours a night, so it took me like 3 nights to kind of set up the file, cut out the flowers, do all my, you know, kind of curling of the petals, and then to string them on the cord, which I just use embroidery floss. And this will fit around, you know, the average woman size neck, and she can wear it. And so this is, you know, for Happy Mail, so I hope the recipient likes it, and if she wants to wear it, she can absolutely wear it. She can also use it for decor. But yeah, so it's a really fun project. So check out the cut file, check out the blog if you'd like to make one, you know, either with Sunny Days or with a paper collection of your choice. I think you'll have a lot of fun. So that's my lay, and let me show you my little beach tote here. This was a lot of fun too. So basically, I made this little beach tote with a cut file that I purchased from, what's it called? SVG Cuts. So this cut file I purchased. It wasn't free. And, but it's an adorable, adorable cut file. I did, in, you know, loading the cut file into my Cricut, I did size the file down considerably because, for a couple reasons. One was, the original cut file itself is just, it would make like a really big tote. I think it's something like a 12, almost like a 12 by 12 size tote, and I thought that was a little too big. And I also, if you look at my tote here, I sized it kind of just right so that I could get a front, the sides, and the back all from the same 12 by 12 sheet of paper. And otherwise, you know, with Maggie Holmes, you only get kind of like 1 sheet per paper pad, and I thought it was going to look kind of overwhelming with all the patterns to have multiple patterns, like 1 pattern on the front, 1 pattern on the back, 1 pattern on the kind of like the layer. And I was like, yeah, no. So I sized it down, and I just got this to fit, like I said, on 1 12 by 12, the front, the back, and the 2 sides. And let me see, I'll give you kind of like, sort of like the dimensions. So from like one end to one end, it looks like I'm at about 7.5. And then from kind of like top to bottom, it looks like I'm about 5.5. But that's finished size. You have to, when you're sizing, you know, when you're working with your cut file in your electronic die cutter, you will have, in addition to the kind of like the finished size, you have the hangover pieces that you fold up to do the assembly. So they're going to be on the size of your overall size of your cut file as well. So you want to keep that in mind, that, you know, I was just looking for a finished size of about 7.5. And was this about 5.5? 5.5. Well, actually, it's a little under 5.5. We'll say between 5.25. Let me just kind of really pay close attention here to what I'm saying. This is, yeah, it's about 5, just a little under 5.5 tall. So yeah, so keep all that in mind. And then the other thing that I would recommend is that in sizing it and choosing your paper, that you choose a paper where it doesn't really matter kind of what direction things are going, because you know, when you're laying your paper down to cut it, if it had a very strongly oriented pattern, could kind of get harder to work with to keep the pattern lined up. But this paper pattern that I chose, the seashells are kind of going off in different directions, so it worked out okay. It worked out kind of perfectly. So yeah, so I chose like this seashell paper for my tote bag, and then you know, there's a couple opportunities to line it, and so I chose this kind of pink paper for the lining around the bottom. See, lines around the bottom on the sides. I thought that was really, really cute. And then, let's see, and then I just chose white for the handle to kind of, I thought, oh my gosh, everything's gets a little busy, so I just wanted to keep the handle kind of plain. And I did stitch kind of like everywhere. So I did stitch around the handles, and I stitched around the panel pieces and the layering pieces. For the pocket, I chose this gorgeous floral paper from the collection and this blue paper. And then I just did some kind of like layering. I layered some trim. I layered some chipboard pieces and chipboard sticker from the collection. I love this little peach chipboard. I use that as well. And then I left the, in assembling my tote bag, I left the back. The pocket doesn't open this way, but I did leave the back open so that I could stuff a couple little things in there. And yeah, what else can I tell you? And then to attach my handles to my tote bag, I used these cute little enamel brads that I had picked up at Michael's. And then I stuffed some really pretty tissue paper in here and glittery. It's pink tissue paper with pink glitters. And one more thing I'll show you is on the inside of my tote bag, the cut file comes with the option to have a liner piece for the inside, basically to cover up your brads from the back. So I did line the inside as well, and that's what the inside looks like. And yeah, and then I decorated the handle with a butterfly that I fussy cut from the paper collection, if you can see that. Super cute, right? And what else can I tell you about this project? Oh, I also kind of decked out my pocket with some inserts. Let me show you those. I inserted this little tag, I layered these two little tags, and I tied them together with a seam binding bow, and I used this little gal chipboard from the paper collection. She's so cute, and a little pink gem from A.C. Moore. Super cute, right? And then my other insert in my pocket is this ephemera piece from the collection, the Sunny Days collection, and I just put a little gold bow. This is from the Elizabeth Craft Cupcake die. I love this little bow, and I decorated it with the gold pom-pom in the center. And that's in there. And let's see, I also decorated my handle with a little tag. This tag is from, I think, the ephemera pack from the collection. And then I layered on this beautiful floral piece, this floral chipboard sticker. I layered on the cute sunglasses, the chipboard sunglasses from the collection. I have a gold gem from A.C. Moore. I decorated my tag with a little pom-pom. And I also made a little tassel from one of my dies that cuts tassels. I forget which one that is. And I attached it to my handle with some white and gold baker's twine. So yeah, so I think, you know, this collection is just adorable. And I would highly recommend it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm working on another, like a memory decks card now with the collection, and I'll come back and show you that, and I'll probably make one or two other things before this all this gets sent off as some happy mail. So thank you so much everybody for watching. If you have any questions, leave them below, and have a great night. Bye.